Welcome back. We're starting the paper reviews with The Nation as always. Major headline, Tinubu directs payment of 1.5 trillion debt to local contractors. Erujabo Dixon set to dump PDP. Only competition will drive down airfares, says Keyamu. Military Tantita join forces against all thieves in Ondo. Makinde okays 55 billion for road construction rehabilitation. 11 officers on board, Nigerian Air Force jets freed in Burkina Faso. And Oyiye Bamiji set to become Osun APC consensus candidate. Release report of my husband's autopsy, ex-governorship candidate's widow cries out. What do we have?
I don't even know where to start from. I want to take the ex-governor's candidate, governorship candidate. But let me start with congratulations to local contractors. They've been protesting, blocking the door of the Ministry of Finance, and now the president has heard them.
That's good.
In fact, he was very expressive about his anger that they were being owed 1.5 trillion. So, according to Bayo Onanuga, the spokesperson of the president, the president expressed grave displeasure about it when he heard from the Director General of the Bureau of Public Procurement about the magnitude of the outstanding being owed to these contractors. And he said he must put together a multi-ministerial team to clear the backlog, which he did. So now members of the committee are the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, that of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, Works, Dave Umahi, Education Minister, Olatunji Alausa, Housing Minister, Ahmed Dangiwa, and Marine and Blue Economy Minister, Agboyega Oyetola. These are the ministers who will be choking head together or joining head together to find a lasting solution to clearing this 1.5 trillion. So lots of contractors, and I hope that state governors are hearing, because a lot of contractors have also finished and delivered quality work to states.
They should be paid.
Just because of change in administration, one governor will now say, that work that you're celebrating is working for your people. I won't pay for it. You know, and these people have already, raised funds, taken loans and finished the work. But the president has looked into it. And according to Bayo Onanuga, hopefully soon enough, these backlogs will be cleared. All of them are expected to sit down, develop a plan as a committee, and then go to the president to tell him the solution that they have, obviously, to talk financing. But Wale Edun had continuously promised these protesters when they started from the Senate and when they went to picket the Ministry of Finance.
I remember
they even do coffee.
Time.
Go to the ministry. They put a petition on top. It was that bad, and the man was sick at the time.
They should be paid, I beg.
Yes, they should be paid. So let me quickly take the autopsy story.
Okay, go ahead.
So Christy Akingoye, the widow of the late Ondo Social Democratic Party governorship candidate, Bami Dele Akingoye, continuously is demanding, it was in the papers yesterday, the autopsy report of her late husband. She condemns the fact that, and she describes as wicked, malicious and preemptive that the autopsy report, which has not been released to families, has continuously been released to the public. So she says that one blogger has boasted that she has seen and read, he has seen and read the autopsy report and alleged that it confirmed that the late governorship candidate was murdered. She also said that the CP has gone public to say that, on a popular TV station, that her late husband was also murdered. She said, but it's strange that herself, her children have had meetings with the police. They had meetings last month, and they're being directed here or there, but nobody is releasing this autopsy report. She insists that the court of law is the only established body that can declare it a murder. And, based on tested evidence, can only and verified claims, can only only a court of law should be able to determine that.
But is that really the order of things where they declare it outside before giving to the family?
Is, it's part of, no, it shouldn't be outside.
Yes,
that's
the family first should have,
So usually it's a court-ordered process, and the court should. I don't know why it's
happening like that. Okay, do you have a story?
Okay, so I have the story where they said 11 officers on board Nigerian Air Force jet freed in Burkina Faso. They said authorities in Burkina Faso have released 11 Nigerian military personnel held after a cargo plane from Lagos made an unauthorized emergency landing in its second largest city. They said the C-130 aircraft had entered Burkina Faso's airspace without clearance. They called it an unfriendly act. They also said that on it they had 2 crew members and 9 passengers they were given permission to return to Nigeria, but the status of the seized plane remained unclear. Meanwhile, they said the Oga of the plane said a spokesperson for the Nigerian Air Force. He neither confirmed nor denied comments about authorization or the lack of it to make the landing, but said an investigation into the incident was continuing. So they are still investigating to see to get to the root of it.
So I have a quick one here about, we talked about the aircraft and the airfares that has gone up astronomically. So they said more aircraft and stronger competition among domestic airlines will bring airfares down in the months ahead. This is according to the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo. And he said this yesterday against the backdrop of the public outcry against the high cost of domestic air travel. And he assured travelers that ongoing reforms are already attracting cheaper aircraft leases and expanding fleet capacity nationwide. He responded to reporters in inquisition at the State House in Abuja after yesterday's Federal Executive Council meeting, which was presided over by the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And he explained that as airlines acquire more planes on cheaper terms, market competition, not government regulation, will now ultimately drive ticket prices lower in what is a fully deregulated aviation sector. According to him, the federal government has no legal authority to fix airfares. But before they start acquiring those aircraft at cheaper rates, what do we do this period? The business people that are running the airlines, can they do something? Because this was not the price before, just so I don't know at what point things decided to change. Can they do something to just ease? A lot of people are gathering money to travel by air because of the insecurities on the road. So it's not necessarily only rich people that are traveling at this moment.
I'm surprised that he said that. Because it's the body that is aware of how much aviation costs.
Should come and tell us why this is happening.
It just went off.
Reasonable standard.
You say federal government cannot do that.
How can you say that? So you want to leave us to capitalists without regulation?
Let's take a short break now. When we come back, the paper reviews continue. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're still reviewing the papers. Moving on now to the Punch. Federal government pushes for 17.89 trillion new loans to finance 2026 budget. PDP chaos. Wike Makinde forces revive war over INEC's nod. Federal government opens diplomatic talks with Burkina Faso over detained aircraft soldiers. Tinubu tackles VIP police escort abuse. Shoyinka faults Shei's entourage. ECOWAS court, Nigeria tops countries ignoring judgments. Senate screens more ambassadorial nominees. U.S. Congress panels talk tough over Nigeria IDP crisis. Alleged fraud, ex-minister Stella Odua arraigned and barred from foreign trips. And Osun 2026, Adeleke confident of victory after Accord ticket win. What do we have in the Punch?
Drama happened on the Senate yesterday. I'm so disappointed that some of the senators, Senator Asuko Okpeyong, Senator Adams Oshomole, Senator Siriake Dixon. I'm very, very disappointed if they are watching. So yesterday, one of the ambassadorial nominees of the president, this is a career ambassador, was before the House, of course, for his confirmation. And this person has a very, very intimidating CV. He went on and on. He had a smooth session, but drama happened when he was asked to name the senators from his state, from his state equity. And of course, this ambassadorial nominee, Emmanuel Adeyemi, is a career ambassador. He named only 2 and had a flustered look trying to remember the last one. That's why the senator took over session. This is disappointing. It's untakeable. It's unhandable. It's uncommunicable. English just the everywhere. You know, talking about him. He named the Senate Majority Leader, Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele. He named Senator Yemi Adaramodu, but he forgot Senator Cyril Fasuyi's name. And even his delegates, they were trying to help
remind him.
Yeah.
He was, just that small lacuna. Instead of them to just whisper the name of the third senator, even if I were the third senator, because I'm a proud representative of him.
I
will get up.
My name.
I can say I am Senator Cyril Fasuyi from your state.
Yeah.
If na that place you want to take know me, kuku know me.
Exactly.
But to allow the flood, they started to use, that was what happened. And so that's how Punch reported it.
Ramatu?
Okay, so I have the story of the of Osun State, that's Adeleke. They said the socio-political group Imole Accord Vanguard has vowed to mobilize 1 million votes for Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke as the governorship candidate of the Accord Party for the August 8, 2026 election. They said Adeleke, who was the sole aspirant in Accord Party governorship primary, on Wednesday secured 145 of the 150 votes cast by accredited delegates drawn from all 30 local government areas of the state. They said five ballots were voided. They said the exercise was supervised by by INEC, that's by INEC, and also it's been monitored by the security agencies. They finally, at the end of the day, they said the Electoral Committee has delivered on its mandate. After voting and counting witnessed by agents and the INEC official, they said, I declare Senator Nuruddin Ademola Adeleke as the winner of the primary for their party. So let's see how this goes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they're just a new party now, and already they have already started making
not
waves.
a new party.
It's not nice. It's been there.
They are, they are placeholder party.
They were just not very strong as APC and PDP just came and overshadowed everything. I've got to carry a very data-driven story here, but God will help me know. I'll just take small. You go to major headline on the Punch and take the full details if you want. Nobody can stress me this morning. So the federal government plans to borrow 17.89 trillion in 2026 to fund a widening budget deficit as revenue projections fall sharply below expenditure needs. And according to the 2026 budget framework obtained from that's the Budget Office of the Federation. So they said official figures in the 2026 abridged budget call circular issued by the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning show that the total new borrowing will jump from 10.42 trillion in 2025 to 17.89 in 2026. This is an increase of 7.46 trillion, which is about 72% in fresh loans over 1 year amid concerns over rising debt. And they talked about how they plan to get this money. They said the bulk of the 2026 borrowing will come from domestic creditors. The document shows that of the planned 17.89 trillion new loans for 2026, 14.31 will be raised from the domestic market, while 3.58 trillion will be sourced from external creditors. Now, domestic borrowing therefore accounts for 80% of the new loans in 2026, while foreign borrowing contributes 20%. So if we're borrowing from ourselves domestically, I think it makes even more sense. You know how they can issue out papers, what they call them in the banking stuff. It just eluded me now. Those, their papers, their bonds for people to buy, and then they can generate that internally. It makes more sense than those foreign, the loans that come from outside and the debt is hanging over our head. Let's move on quickly now to the Daily Sun. Major headline, Tinubu senators fight over police withdrawal order. Oshunguba president meets aspirants, appeals for unity, consensus building. CAC clampdown threatens 1.8 million POS operators, triggers stakeholder uproar. And insecurity, Sultan queries NIREC's role in religious tolerance peace building. CAN pushes for more collaborations. President furious over non-payment of contractors, set up panel to resolve payment crisis. Nima had taken that. NGE and SERAP condemn harassment of journalist activities or journalist activists, CSOs using repressive laws. And why federal governments won't interfere in high domestic airfares, according to KMO. I had taken that story. What do you have in the
So I have the NGE and the SERAP story. So the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project SERAP and the Nigerian Guild of Editors NGE yesterday marked World Human Rights Day. Of course, they used the opportunity to assess all of the human rights abuses within the country, particularly against journalists. They says that there have been use of repressive laws, including the Cybercrime Act and strategic lawsuit against public participation SLAP to intimidate and harass journalists and activists and civil society organizations across the country. There's many. They took account of all of them. They said that SLAP erodes democracy, respect for human rights and the rule of law in Nigeria, and that the use of these two repressive instruments to crack down on peaceful dissent and was entirely inconsistent with our 1999 constitution. And they called on the president to publicly call on state governors, Nigerian police force, Department of State Services, to uphold and ensure full respect for the rights of everyone in the country. They also used the opportunity to call on international organization to hold Nigeria authorities to account for violations of human rights in the country, including both federal and state levels, to calling on governors as well as everybody. They had different accounts, but dating 2024, each experiences that, you know, they consider such abuses. You can read the song for more details. Yeah. But I joined voices with them.
Okay. Ramatu, you have a story in the song?
I don't have a story.
Okay, so let's move on now to the Nigerian Tribune. Vanguard or the Nigerian Tribune? Which one should we do first? Anyone. Let's do the Vanguard. Okay, Senators kick, Tinubu insists. That's the Vanguard now. Forex, CBN limits cash payouts for PTA, BTA at 25%. America won't look away from Nigeria's killing Congress. Nigeria's killings, according to the Congress. Federal government waits in as Burkina Faso refuses to release seized Nigerian Air Force plane and 11 soldiers. Editor Serap raised alarm over rising clampdown on media activists. Here we have insecurity. We are not honest with Nigerians. Sultan slams faith leaders. Security guarding Tinubu's son enough to crush Benin Republic uprising, according to Shoyinka. Adeleke, critics exaggerating my minor missteps. That's Remi Tinubu. I'm upset over 4 trillion debt owed federal contractors. Tinubu. Ex-AGF, Malami spends third night in EFCC custody. What do we have in the Vanguard?
So in the Vanguard, I took the Adeleke story.
Okay, go ahead.
So I read where he said, I love PDP, but things fell apart every day. Okay. He said the Osun State governor, that's Ademola Adege, says his decision to dump the PDP for the Accord Party was driven by uncertainty within the PDP and the need to protect his political future and stability of the state. He said this, he said that PDP could no longer rely on the party. He could no longer rely on the party due to internal crisis and pending court cases, just like you explained yesterday. He said, I did all the best I could do, but I love my state, Osun State. He said, assuming you don't need a platform to secure any nomination for you to be a candidate, it will have been a different case, but you need a platform and time is running out. I don't know what will. He's saying that I don't know what will happen in the future due to all the court cases that PDP has. So that's the reason why he went to Accord. He was just trying to explain why.
His reasons.
Yeah.
Do they really need to come out and tell us why?
Well, so let me take the bail conditions of former AGF. Okay. According to the Vanguard, his bail conditions, which is unable to meet, which is looking like he will spend another night, which is a third night now, in the boys' quarters or the special hostel places, of the EFCC. He says it includes him appearing every day for the next 30 days at the EFCC headquarters in Abuja. Wow. It includes seizure of his international passports, which prevents him, of course, from traveling out of the country. It also includes him presenting 2 permanent secretaries as shorties, among other conditions that they've given him. This AGF is being investigated for over allegations of terrorism financing, operating 46 bank accounts.
Jesus.
Which he says are all fabricated and politically motivated. That's how it is now. We are looking at it. He doesn't have 2 permanent secretaries that can stand shorty for him.
You know, before you want to
this
stick
life,
out your neck to sign anything,
now
you have to be careful.
Now where sugar they and they go. When he was in office, all
everybody
of them
would have fears. That's what happens now. But once
if
you get into trouble like that,
everybody will disappear.
May God help us not to get into this kind of trouble in Jesus' name. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we'll move on to the topics for today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.